West Virginia was going after the top wide receiver in the transfer portal, and when it looked as if West Virginia had a legit shot to get Keandre Lambert-Smith from Penn State. But it looks like that's no longer the case. We're going to talk about that and talk about the ramifications of it right after this word from our sponsor. Ladies and gentlemen, this episode is brought to you by Dutch Miller Automotive, where friends and family pricing means you get the best deal right up front on any new or pre-loved vehicle in stock every time. With brands like Chevrolet, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, Kia, Hyundai, Ford, GMC, Buick, and Subaru, the Dutch Miller Automotive family is always growing and ready to put you in the car or truck you've been searching for. Check out our inventory across West Virginia at DutchMillerAuto.com or come in today to the home of friends and family pricing, only at a Dutch Miller Automotive store near you. What is up? Welcome in. Make yourself comfortable and belly yourself up to the bar, and let me pour you out another shot of top-shelf college football content on tap. In today's episode of Couz's Corner, we're talking about Keandre Lambert-Smith and how it looks like West Virginia is now off the table for him, according to sources over at On3. Now, just a couple of days ago, it appeared that West Virginia had a legit shot, and On3 was actually predicting Keandre Lambert-Smith to come to West Virginia. And I'm going to play you a clip that explains why their mind has now changed in just a moment. But when you look at Keandre Lambert-Smith, he's a 6'1", 185-pound receiver. West Virginia fans remember him well from last year. He absolutely ate up that Mountaineer secondary in the game against Penn State to open the 2023 season. On the season total, he had 53 catches, 673 yards, and 4 touchdowns for the Nittany Lions in 2023. And according to many, is the top, like I said, is the top receiver in the portal right now. And he would be a fifth-year senior. It would be his final year of eligibility. So you'd be getting a very experienced receiver and a very talented receiver if the Mountaineers were able to land Lambert-Smith. However, like I said, according to On3, it looks like West Virginia's chances of getting him may be fading. And I'm going to play you a clip right now from their show explaining that.
Speaking of updates, the top transfer portal wide receiver is Keandre Lambert-Smith. We've talked about him a lot on this show since this whole portal cycle got rolling. I told you yesterday, West Virginia was my pick early for him. It seems as though they're starting to fade. What I've been told is it is a 4-team race for Keandre Lambert-Smith. He's going to visit Auburn. He's going to visit Texas A&M. The other 2 schools in the mix, I'm being told, are Colorado and USC. So Auburn and A&M getting some visits. You'd have to believe they're going to push hard to land a commitment at some point this weekend, but I'm just saying, I'm hearing it's a 4-team race. So West Virginia, not so sure where they stand right now, but those 4 teams are the ones to watch.
All right, so there, J.D. Piquel from On3 said, West Virginia seems to be fading, doesn't know why, but looks like Auburn, Texas A&M are getting visits, and then Colorado, USC also in the mix. What do those schools have in common? They all have deep pockets and can probably pay him a large sum of cash in the form of NIL money. So, that being said, maybe that puts West Virginia in a bit of a disadvantage. But, man, when you look at playing time, I mean, I don't see any reason a wide receiver of Keandre Lambert-Smith's caliber could not come into West Virginia and play day one. I mean, yes, I like West Virginia's receiving core, which I'll touch on a little bit more in a minute, but they're not very experienced. There's a lot of young guys in that receiver room. Keandre Lambert-Smith would automatically come in as a veteran, the most experienced guy in that room, and would have a really legit chance to play. Now, is he a cultural fit? I have no idea. Don't know the reasons why he's fading, and we probably never will know with 100% certainty the reasons why. But nonetheless, it looks like Texas A&M, Auburn, USC, and Colorado are going to be one of the landing spots for Keandre Lambert-Smith. At least that's what the crystal ball is showing right now. Now, the reason I don't think this is that big a deal, there's 2 reasons. Number one, like I mentioned, I like West Virginia's wide receiver room. Yes, they're young, but man, they're talented. Traylon Ray, Hudson Clement, Rodney Gallagher, Preston Fox, E.J. Horton. They brought in Jaden Bray from Oklahoma State. All of those guys are capable of making plays for this Mountaineer team. You've got Garrett Green behind center. I like his chances of really stepping up and having an even bigger year in 2024. I'm actually happy with West Virginia's receiver room. Now, you did hear Neil Brown saying in a recent presser that he would like to go out and find at least one really long receiver, somebody about 6'4". Now, Keandre Lambert-Smith doesn't fit that mold, which tells me they must really, really think he's good, or they would have never shown interest in the first place, because he really doesn't fit the body type they want. They already have body types like his in the room, but he must be that good, at least in their eyes. But I'm still happy with West Virginia receiver room. To me, if you don't have a guy that's a 100% lock, if that even exists, but if you don't have a guy that you're really, really extremely confident is going to be a fit and is going to help your team, I don't think you take a chance on it, especially when that NIL money could potentially go to another position. And here's another reason I'm not sure it's a big deal that Keandre Lambert-Smith won't come to West Virginia. I'm going to play you another clip, this one from Locked On, a recent episode of Locked On College Football. Listen to this, and then we'll talk about it after the clip plays.
I mean, he's getting that level of attention because he is a fifth-year veteran in college football. He was going to be a starter at Penn State, but something just happened. There is some sort of rift that's going on between him and Penn State, whether that's the team, the coaching staff, something changed, because it was all, sunshine and rainbows towards the end of his junior season, where he showed out against Michigan State, the Rose Bowl, and then had a good game against West Virginia. But then when it mattered most, did not show up against Ohio State. And nobody did, but that was supposed to be your leading wideout, right? And then completely absent against Michigan. Mike Yurcich gets fired and then is completely phased out of the offense. You don't see him at all for almost the remainder of the season. And that goes for the bowl game as well against Ole Miss. So what happened from somebody that put up 100+ yards against West Virginia, 2 touchdowns, and then is nowhere to be found against Ole Miss in the Peach Bowl? Like, this is truly, and then you bring in Julian Fleming. Trey Wallace is progressively getting better, other receivers on Penn State's team. And now the conversation goes, KLS is the number 1 wide receiver on Penn State's team in 2023, but then gets knocked down the depth chart to number 3, becoming the 3rd option in the wide receiver room. I mean, that is, you have to make sense of that somehow. So yes, I mean, he's a capable wide receiver. I think he's talented, but I think people are overrating him here. That's just my honest opinion.
So there you have it. Someone who covers Penn State, Zach, and I hope I pronounced his name right, Zach Sako from Locked On Penn State, who was a guest on Locked On College Football with Spencer McLaughlin, who I consider a friend of the show. He says, point blank, Keandre Lambert-Smith is overrated. He started out as the number 1 receiver at Penn State, ended up losing that number 1 spot, did not show up in big moments. There seems to be a rift between him and the staffers, or him and the team for some reason. What happened? Is that West Virginia, in my opinion, is not desperate. They don't need to take a chance on a guy whose career path, for whatever reason, seems to be going downhill. Now, could a change of scenery change that for him and change his trajectory? Absolutely, it could. But when you're Neil Brown and you've got your culture where you want it, you're heading in the right direction. Your program is climbing. No pun intended. It's climbing like you wanted it to. Why go out and take a risk on a guy? Yes, he's talented, but will he be a fit in your locker room? And when people that are covering Penn State are telling us he's probably overrated, then let Texas A&M spend that NIL money on Keandre Lambert-Smith. Let USC or Colorado or Auburn spend that NIL money on him. And you go out and you find a guy who's a great fit, and you also let your young guys who are budding superstars, let them carry your team in 2024, along with the more veteran guy in Jaden Bray and Preston Fox, and rely on your running game and your awesome quarterback in Garrett Green. That's why I don't think losing Keandre Lambert-Smith is a big deal. West Virginia is going to be just fine, in my opinion, in that wide receiver room. But what do you think? Do you think it's a big deal to lose out on somebody like Keandre Lambert-Smith in the portal? And do you think West Virginia does need to add at least 1 more wide receiver to that room? Let me know in the comments section. Want to give the VIP member shout-outs to this episode: Brandon Bailey, Shannon Miller, Luke Armacost, and Dustin Saltz. Thank you for all being channel members. If you want to become a member of this elite club, hit the join button below. If you don't see a join button on your device, go to my channel homepage on YouTube. Right next to my profile photo is a join button. You hit it. It'll show you the perks of both the pub level and the club level. Pick out which level you want to be a member of. Bada bing, bada boom, you're in. Comes out of your account every month. You don't have to worry about it, but you can cancel at any time. Become a member of the VIP club here at Couz's Corner. Take advantage of the perks. like members only videos, early access to special videos. If you're a club level member, you will get at times get add limited ads on some of the videos so you can watch with less interruptions, those sorts of things. Take advantage of that today. Also want to give a reminder that if you want to support your favorite, as the transfer portal is now open, you want to help secure your team's transfers, you want to help secure your team's rosters, do it through NIL, do it through ONIT NIL trading cards. Hit the link in my description box. Get your favorite team, including West Virginia, by the way, which is available. And I'll get a small commission if you use that link, and the college athletes, the student athletes, will get 60% of the profits via NIL. So take advantage of that offer today. Also, you can check out another West Virginia video I did right here about an in-state kid that's coming in committed to coming in anyway as part of the 2025 class. Check that out. Have a top shelf day in Q Country Roads.